up? I got Naskin here with me. This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's nothing. That Super Bowl ring, that's nothing. Pull up in your town when you.
What have you seen from Corey Grant since you went out and got him?
Yeah, you know, Corey had him for a short period of time. We've obviously scouted him coming out of college and in his, first 4 years in the league. He's really fast, and I think he kind of fits and understands a little bit of that outside zone scheme that Matt wants to do. But he's had a good, first couple of days for us, and we needed the depth. So.
When you pick up two backs like that in a week, is it just simply bolstering competition, or you're not really thrilled with what you brought back behind the front guys? Or?
Yeah, I think we had some injuries, and I think also just the depth part of it, making sure these are. These days early in camp, there's a lot of reps, and whenever you have any kind of injuries, it kind of puts some stress on the rest of the group. So that's part of it.
You heard from the coaches a little bit, Brian. What do you, as a in your position, look forward to with the joint practices next week? Can you evaluate that differently than if it was just your team on the field?
Sure. No, I mean, first. It gives us a chance to evaluate another team up close, right? We get to see their players in a practice environment for 2 days, which was excellent for us. I think also it allows your ones to take valuable reps against another team without exposing your quarterback to injury. I think that's really valuable as an organization. So, but yeah, I think the reps against other players from another team is always valuable, to evaluate our own guys, but then also evaluating the Texans guys as well. So.
Ted always.
Sorry.
I was going to say, Brian, second time the same day, family night. What do you get out of that? What do you look for on family
Sure.
night?
I think with our young players on family night, it's the first time they're in Lambeau Field under the lights in that kind of environment. It is a practice, but yet the adrenaline and the intensity is ratcheted up, and just kind of seeing how they handle that moment. I think it's important for us. It's kind of the first step before the first preseason game. So that's kind of, I think, what I get out of it.
Ted always used to say he wants to wrap his guys in bubble wrap in preseason. You guys not only have to evaluate the roster, but you also have to get ready to play a game in a new system. So how much will you and Matt, look at playing time in the preseason, and are your guys on offense just going to have to play a little bit more?
I think we talk about that every morning. We sit down. It's not just about the games, but the practices and kind of how we're managing that the reps and the depth, where we're at, because every day kind of changes with injuries in this game. It's a delicate balance between getting enough work, keeping your guys healthy, and then also just kind of. From my end of it, going through what you need to go through to know who you can rely on, who's dependable, available all the time, So I think you're constantly kind of working on that, trying to do what's best for your team.
So what are you guys going to do with Aaron and the number one offense come game time?
That's really Matt's call, but it'll be something that as we go through, we'll kind of, it's where we're at, how guys are feeling, what their injury status is,
There's obviously an element of projection with the free agent acquisitions fitting into what. So obviously through the OTA, I know it's just 4 practices, but what have you seen from Za'Darius, Preston, Adrian on that defense, and how they actually have fitted, maybe what you thought?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously very early, but from the offseason till now, I've really liked how they fit in. We were going after versatility along the front, and I think in the short period of time that we've had them, we've seen that. There's certain guys that we have now that can line up in multiple spots, and I just think that makes it difficult from a personnel grouping. You may have a certain amount of guys out there, but where they line up, the offense may not know. So I think that's important, and I think that'll kind of evolve as we go. But through 4 days, it's been good.
Mike said yesterday that he feels Montravius is the defense's most improved player over the last year. Where have you seen him make his biggest strides in the last year?
Yeah, I think he's made big strides, but I think it's kind of been steady, from his rookie year to his second year till now. He's obviously going to be put into a position to play a lot more snaps than probably has in the past, but he's been on a steady upward trend since we got him. And I think the more opportunities he's had, the more he's shown. So like a lot of young players, it's consistency. They'll show flashes of what they have, and then it's just not consistent. I think as Mon has has gone through the last year or so, the consistency has been what has stood out more than anything.
Mike was pretty honest. He said, I was not high on Montrevious when you first got here. What was your kind of first impression of him? Was it maybe a little more glowing than that?
Well, I have we had in the scouting staff, we have the luxury of kind of knowing Mon from his college days. So we kind of knew that it was going to take a minute for him to get up to speed. But so we kind of probably saw this path a little bit sooner, and there was some patience involved. But he really has, over the last year, going back to last season, taken advantage of the opportunity he's been given. And when he's been out there, he's made plays. And so he's always had that from the time he was at Auburn. He was kind of a disruptive playmaker for them. And I think as he's got more opportunities, he's starting to show that some.
I think he played like 60 snaps as a rookie and about 200 last year. When you see it, it's not a ton of snaps, but is it enough to really feel like you know what you have there?
I think, yeah. I mean, I think we know, what Mon can do. Now, again, doing it consistently. If when the snaps get ratcheted up to, let's say 600 or so, if you get to that's different. I mean, you got to kind of prove that year in and year out. But we're really optimistic. And like I said, when he's in the game, when he's had his opportunity, he's showing up. And so we expect him to do the same. So as he gets more snaps.
Is it hard to evaluate your young quarterbacks when there's so much new for them, when they're maybe swimming a little bit with the new playbook? I mean, how do evaluations go in that type of situation?
Yeah, I think, particularly with all positions, but really particularly with quarterbacks, there's such a learning, there's so much involved in that I think you got to be a little bit more patient, and then the games matter. I mean, that's, when they get in those preseason games, their ability to kind of manage the huddle, manage the game, and make plays. I mean, that's, we're looking at that. They got to be able to do that. They got to be able to play winning football when they get out there under the lights. And so the practices will be some ups and downs just because that position is like that, because there's so much involved. But as we get to the games and stuff, that's when it matters.
Looking around the league, it seems like teams react to the practice restrictions in the CBA in certain ways, and they're kind of reflective of that franchise. There are a number of teams that have live tackling drills and are taking guys to the ground. Matt, were you involved in that decision? Was that something he said, this is what I believe? How did that play out?
Yeah, that's really Matt's decision, but it's certainly stuff we talk about, philosophically, how do we want to kind of go forward? And everybody does it a little bit different. I think you're seeing less and less teams kind of, do the go to the ground stuff. And I think there's maybe some times where you can have, opportunistic times to do it, But hey, getting to September healthy obviously is a main concern of all of us. And so if we can get done what we need to get done without guys on the ground, I think that's kind of the goal.
Because of those restrictions, and I mean, you got to hit the ground running September 5th. Does that put more pressure on you and the personnel group to find tacklers? I mean, because you don't have time to teach them. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I don't know if it's more. I think it's always been part of it, right? Like I think you're always looking for guys that are solid tacklers, and I think especially up here, I just think in this environment, especially when we get into December and January, I think that's when it really shows up more so than any other. And I've always leaned towards bigger physical type players at times, and I think that's part of it is getting guys to the ground.
So last month there was constant communication with Josh Jones' agent. Where's that situation stand? He's here obviously. Are you planning for him to be part of this defense? Where's that?
Yeah, no, I think Josh has had really good beginning to camp. In 4 days, he's shown up, made some plays, and obviously the physical gifts are all there, and he's getting a lot of opportunity. And I think there's some really positive signs that he could really help our football team. And we got a long way to go. There's a lot of competition on that back end right now, but it's been really positive to see him out there doing what he's doing.
Brian, how competitive does wide receiver look to you? I mean, even Shepard, Reddick are impressive.
Yeah.
When you came into this role in the last 2 years, is there something, a need you felt to address, and what is your top criteria when you look at to bring in a receiver?
Could you repeat the last part? I'm sorry.
When you took over this role 2 years ago, were there needs you thought that needed to be addressed? And what are your top criteria when bringing in a receiver?
Yeah, obviously I think, a couple of years ago as we kind of moved in, we felt we needed to address it, and we drafted 3 guys last year, and we've kind of churned the waiver wire a little bit with some guys at the wide receiver position. But I think you're looking for guys that can get open and catch the ball. I mean, it's pretty simple, but that's what we're looking for. Guys that can create some separation, catch the ball, and do something when they get it. And I really like the group right now. They're competing. It's very competitive. I think Devontae's doing a great job leading that group. And it'll be interesting kind of how it all shakes out. But they're getting a lot of opportunity, and it'll be interesting. There's kind of a big group there that are going to be fighting for a lot of roster spots.
I know you're open-minded about everybody, but are there any guys, you don't have to name names, that you're kind of quietly rooting for, to show or to eventually stick?
I root for all our guys. I mean, I'm kind of hoping they all do well and make it really tough on me come after Kansas City when we have to make those decisions. But we're so early in camp. We're trying to evaluate everything. Obviously, not only evaluating their potential and their skill, but their reliability. How they go through the building on a day-to-day basis, how professional they are. Just trying to make sure that we pick the right 53 guys that, to start, that we feel we can rely on to help us win football games. I mean, that's really it. And it's just really, really early right now. But I don't know if you ever root, for guys, but, I think you get excited when young players start to get in their comfort zone and start to make plays, so, yeah.
What did you see in Sam, and maybe where did you see it in Sam that wanted you put in the claim, and then had you hit Sam Ficken? Have you seen, I guess, that here in these brief periods?
Yeah, I thought, it was important to have another kicker in camp, and Sam's got a very strong leg. Obviously at the time of year we were at it, I thought it would be a good chance to take a look at another kicker and provide some competition for Mason. He's Sam's shown up and worked hard, and does have a very strong leg, so he'll have some opportunities coming up here that where we'll get a little bit more pressure, and I think that's important. That's really important for kickers, is to be able to handle the pressure. And obviously Mason's done that for a number of years, and he also knows how to kick in this stadium, which is different than other places. So, but yeah, I'm interested to see as we get to those steps how he does.